unfortunately, the brick and mortar comes into play with the Fed and the regulators. So unless you're a 100% online tech bank, which they're out there, the financial institutions are having to convert, and work at home, for example, has been something that has increased the work at home aspect for bankers and workers. But I definitely see the fintech and the technology sector being something that continues to grow and evolve. And we may not see it in our local market as much, but it's out there. And I foresee that that arena is what starts to take over, and just, for lack of better words, kind of being forced to go through the change that we've all waited on. So I think it'll be a high tech that meets some kind of concierge services in the banking arena.
Okay, good to know. Well, we'll watch out for that. All right. So I have a question back to your book, You're the Best Investment, and you can purchase it by you'rethebestinvestmentbook.com. Just a little now commercial there. But can you share with our listeners what was one of your most favorite either stories or chapters or points as you wrote your book? This is a business advice book. And as I said earlier in the podcast, just very direct and succinct. I love the takeaways that you have in it. But if you could share just one of your favorite points, I would love that.
Yeah. Okay. Thinking back on the book and my favorite chapter, I think really one of the chapters that I enjoyed was the part where was know your worth. When you think about knowing your worth, and kind of the way I articulated this was not just in regards to your business, but in when you're negotiating, and your personal worth and your professional worth. That was chapter 6. I kind of went through understanding your weakness and knowing your professional worth. That was probably one of my favorite chapters.
Agree. Mine too. And again, you can know your worth, but how can you know how do you really know where you are unless you remember where you came, right? Yeah. From where you came from. So it was those kind of ideals. And very much you've got a lot of those, business fundamentals, and they're tried and true because they stand the test of time. It isn't trending necessarily. So that's the latest, that's the latest business advice. I really love your book for that. So thank you for sharing. Chapter 6. So take a look at that chapter. All right. So I want to get to the point now. We're getting towards the end of the podcast. So we've got to ask you that question, the question that of which this podcast came from. And it's a question of what no one knows. We ask this as we hear those words from people that are thinking of writing a book with us or have written a book with us that, say, okay, I'm going to share something with you that no one knows. Except for maybe one human on this planet, or maybe just a very couple humans, or I'm going to write it in my book. What can you share, Jennifer Mulligan, with us on what no one knows?
What no one knows. Is this a fun fact, or this could be any fact?
It could be any fact. And trust me, we hear all types of different facts. Yep.
I was in high school. I was in the play Grease, and I was in performing arts and liked music, and not many people know that.
I love that. I did not know you were in performing arts. And I would say, do you think that you gain confidence there because you're a very confident person?
Absolutely. Yeah. I gained confidence there. Performing in front of an audience and putting myself out there, if you will, at a very young age. I think that helped me a lot in regards to my entrepreneurial skill set and just being able to talk to anybody, get up in front of a stage, whether I was performing or speaking. That definitely, viewing back on my childhood, my life, that definitely did. Musically inclined as well. So. Oh,
what instrument do you play?
I'm saying music wise, singing wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I love that. Well, hopefully then all those Saturday mornings that I drug my 2 daughters to the Straz for Triple Threat Theater to will pay off for them. But no, I agree. We are the sum of all of our parts, right? And all of our background that influences us. And I really appreciated reading in your book. You can certainly see that background and that, experience that you had that now you're imparting with your readers. So congratulations on your becoming the published author of You're the Best Investment. And I think what we'll do is I'm going to ask you this last question as we end here, but I know it's early on in you becoming a published author, and we're going to talk about where people can meet you for your book signing at the very end. But after this experience, do you think you might have another book in you in the future? I mean, tell us what you're thinking about your publishing goals, or what's next for you besides getting working on your company and your book publishing? What's next?
Oh, that's great questions. Another book in the future. There could be a sequel. I definitely think that. Right now, I've launched my finance company, and that's been a wonderful journey already as I've started that. There could be some other nuances that I start as well, initiatives, other companies. But over the next kind of 3 to 5 years, I'm really looking forward to kind of harnessing and enjoying life a little bit more, as well as I tell in the book. I was a sole custody mother and raised my daughter. So looking forward to a lot of great success in the future.
Thank you. Well, I'm sure it's going to come your way. It already has. And so I want to share with the listeners where you can actually get a signed copy. A big event is coming up for Jennifer Mulligan. It's going to be at the Tampa Club on November 19th. That's 2020. So if this is 2021, I'm sorry you've missed it. But the evening of November the 19th, it's actual National Entrepreneurial Day. So she will be part of a collaborative book signing, book launch. You'll get your copy of You're the Best Investment book, and we'll be there. It'll be a great party. And so it's open to the public at the Tampa Club. So we'll put the information for you for that event with this podcast, and information on how you can buy the book at you'rethebestinvestmentbook.com. Please join us. And we thank you very much, Jennifer, for being an awesome guest today. And more than that, we appreciate that you have published your words of wisdom in your book. And we wish you all the success. And anyone that wants to write their story, just reach out to Now Publishing. I'm Lisa Marie Garcia, and thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening to our podcast, What No One Knows. If you have a story to share, contact Now Publishing at publish@nowscpress.com. Visit our website, publishwithnow.com, for a free download from our The 90-Day Author book, and let Now Publishing build, publish, and sell your book.